truth, and the truth about everything that I've found out about so far. I'm on multiple platforms, and my name and phone number are computer code for that. So, the truth about everything that I've found out about so far. I will be downloading this video and then uploading it to YouTube. So, I've got to speak somewhat guarded. Can't really mention specifically some of the terminology I would like to. I can walk out on the beach right now and say whatever I jolly well please. However, if I'm going to have it run through the artificial intelligence censorship police, I've got to watch what I say. Good morning. Good to see you. Hey, that's a little more crisp. So it's very windy and rainy out right now. Not raining so much here. However, I didn't put my face on the recording yet. I'm not afraid to do that, as I'm sure you all know. Oh, there we are. Let's see if I can clear that up okay. So we've got a firmament above the stationary level Earth. Some really big thunder this morning, lightning and thunder. Quite a light show going on here in the Myrtle Beach area. This is specifically Cherry Grove, the Cherry Grove area of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I can go ahead and take us up the way here. That might be kind of interesting to show you. We can see that the way that this is set up, I'm going to be going up a hill. This is a free parking spot. All of these on the left are free parking. How cool is that? So I can go from garage to garage. Actually, it works really good. Had a little power outage yesterday. It lasted a couple of seconds, if that. It was like more like on-off. Switch on-off. So I don't know if it was some kind of test. It's happened at, I believe, 7:24 a.m. Now in my deep learning AI research library, I've got a lot of different content, including movies such as Bourne Supremacy. Did you see it? It was showcasing black projects in the CIA, through the CIA, and with other organizations working together. And super soldiers would be some of the projects. How about that? Modifying humanity with drugs and shattering the personality with trauma-based mind control. Is it a window or a mirror? Actually, both, depending on perspective. Right on the other side of that those buildings there would be the water tower / cell tower. Those buildings are new within the last 2 years. So we can't see the wind. We can hear it whistling around structures and our ears and the microphone. Water seeks level. It's just what it does all over the stationary level Earth. We've got people that are reality deniers. Could even be, I've got reality denier friends and family. Oh well, that's how I found it. It's painful. Very painful. So sometimes people will say, how are you and your family? Well, it's complicated, to say the least. All right, let's see how this looks if I flip it on around. Need a little bit more light on the subject. I do my own hair with the Flowbee. It's a vacuum cleaner attachment that has a precision stainless steel set of cutters that will, you hook it up to a vacuum cleaner, it draws the hair and cuts it with precision from a 1/4 inch to 6 inches in 1/4 inch increments. Who's going to do my hair in the wee hours of the morning? Me. I'll do it. All right, so let's flip this around and go for a little bit more of a ride. I would like to see those lights look a little bit more clear. It's maybe a little bit better. So being inside the car with the glass and all that, the acoustics of my interior, pretty nice. I like that. So even though it's windy outside, I have the benefit of not having so much wind on the microphone. So yesterday, for the first time, I saw Bourne Supremacy. It's a free movie through YouTube. It's part of the Bourne Identity and Bourne Ultimatum, that franchise with Matt Damon in it. And then today I had added some videos. I move them around a lot. Juxtaposition. It's one of those things that I can do. So I'll put like a little limitless clip that shows you how you can be the best version of you by accessing 100% of your brain. I needed more than that. I had brain damage, chemical dependency, and a diagnosis of bipolar. And then I was on a regimen of medications for a while. Long enough. Longer than I would have liked to. So I'm exposing the pharmaceutical industry as it works in concert with the major medical industry to let's give them, no, I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they're trying to help people. There are individuals in the medical fields that are trying to help. And there's the development of medications and pharmaceuticals that I believe some people in that industry have good intentions. And then there are those that don't. There's a battle between good and evil, and the truth is the most censored topic there is. Guaranteed. So my deep learning AI research library has been deployed worldwide. Not like a musty old library nestled in some sleepy little community or a metroplex. It's curated by the largest system of digital distribution in the world. The cloud, the internet, Skynet, the whole thing. And I'm going to use all that data and put it together for your evaluation. And like other libraries, there isn't a category that just has truth in it. Doesn't work that way. An effective deception has copious amounts of truth and lies mixed in for the deception process. So we've been programmed, not only all of our lives, our parents were, and what does that carry forward? So when our mothers were pregnant with us, did they have catastrophic events happen? Wars, human carnage, tragedies? rapes and murders and all that goes on in this freak show of life, this realm that we're living in. I'm exposing the whole thing. I want you to know that. I don't leave anybody out, so if you believe I've missed something, you can go ahead and put it in a comment, send me a link, give me a phone call if you care to. Notice the liquid mirrors the water. The surface of undisturbed, unmanipulated water is flat and level. It's just the way it is. Been doing this for more than a decade now. And what has happened, especially in the last 5 years, there's been a very concerted effort to censor the truth and to curate the official narrative through digital and electronic manipulation of humanity. We have silent weapons for quiet wars. Some of the technology that's affecting cognitive function can't even be heard with the unaided ear. Can't hear it. I've had a ringing in my ears for the last almost 30 years now. When cell towers started springing up all over the place, that's when it happened for me. So this is the new parking area, and I'm just going to drive on around. They've added a bathroom, concrete block, and layers of stucco and steel and all that. How nice is that? So down here is another parking spot. It used to be that people could park there overnight. Not anymore. Not supposed to be there before 5 a.m. Between midnight and 5 a.m., no parking here. They've tightened that up. They don't want people camping, car camping. There is an area that I'm going to go to, which is the Russell Burgess Coastal Preserve. I'll show you that. That's a wildlife viewing area, and there's more flexibility there. I'll go to the boat landing too. Kind of an interesting area. And if any problem develops with the sound, please let me know. Can somebody right now, if you would please, let me know if you can hear the sound okay? Let's see. I don't know that I can hear that. I can read that so good. So what I'll end up doing after this this video live stream is done is I'm going to go ahead and send it to different platforms. I'm going to keep it less than an hour so that I can actually upload it to TikTok. We'll see what happens with that. So we're living in an environment that has this very distorted projection of reality. Since I'm driving like this in my car, I've got my windows up, can't see me too well except from the front. There's, if you're looking at it through a screen, a computer, on a TV, you're looking at part of our shared simulated reality. I'm on thousands of hours of video, and you could surf through and see that. And there's, of course, people that have done movies and documentaries. They're there too. It's just that my niche or niche is to focus on the truth. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to apply analytical, critical thinking. In the nature of this reality, we have truth tellers and deceivers all intermingled. They may claim to be born again and have born again Christians, and they may have very unbiblical theology, cosmology, eschatology, all of that. So how will you be able to determine the truth when it's right in front of you? How are you going to do that? So this is the Toyota Prius. It's a large electric and gas generator. I can use gasoline to create electricity, to leverage the system to take braking power and help it to propel me when I get back going again. Of course, boat landing here. I'm glad that worked good. That could be awkward. Concrete's angled, water is flat and level, the surface of it. Over and over again, I know I talk about it. People with letters around their name and copious digits in their Monopoly Money bank account are, they've been bamboozled. I was a homeschooling dad, working at a full-time ministry, all the while deceived and not being aware of it. I did not know. I did not know it. Oh, looks like I can go up here for a little bit. Oh, let me flip that around. I've got to be really careful what I say. Of course, that's one of the other reasons why I don't go live with other people on my channel. I mean, if somebody, let's say Joe Rogan actually mentioned me in his live stream or his podcast, I was told by a friend of mine. And that's cool. And I would be happy to go live with Joe. It's unlikely, though. They wouldn't do that. And people will go ahead and they'll say this or that person is a controlled opposition, a shill, an agent, all kinds of stuff. I'll use them all. I believe Taekwondo is the martial art that uses other people's energy against them in a combat. Whatever you want to call it, I'll leverage the whole thing. I'll leverage everything that I can. There's no way I could put together the amount of content that I have in my library. I could not make it. It would be humanly impossible, physically impossible for me to do it. And well, that didn't work so good. Okay. And I don't have to. There's talented content creators that have created this stream of information, documentaries, and all that I can feature, and I will continue to feature. So that was another boat launch area back over there too. So yeah, I washed the car real good this morning, even though it was raining and all that. Not when I was washing, it was dry, but I had sand all over the car from the surfboard being on the roof, and if I don't rinse that off good, I'll have scratches all on my windshield. So just different factors. Also the coconut oil on the car and the road film and all that. My lights project better when they're cleaner, when the lens is cleaner. That's how it works. So there's testable, repeatable reality all around us. I've heard it described that insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And one of the observations I have with that is that there can be nuanced changes that may be unknown, or that many may fail to recognize. I don't expect them to get it. It may appear that I choose to do the same thing, and they may think it's crazy. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways to do things, subtle changes. Like I don't have as much coconut oil on me today. I have some in my hair. That's part of what helps keep the hair from getting all brittle and damaged, being in salt water and salt mist and out in the sunshine. The other thing is cutting my hair more often. It takes me, helps with that. It cuts the split ends off. Actually, they never really get very split because I cut my hair often. During the early part of the pandemic, I believe is more accurate, there was a lot of bad hair. Even celebrities, they were kind of throwing it in front of us. That, yeah, they couldn't even get their hair cut either. I didn't have that problem. I'm sure the AI was modeling all of that. It's got pattern recognition, recognizing the people, the gait, the G-A-I-T, the way people walk is very unique. The way men and women walk is very different. Maybe you've noticed. It's because of not only the pelvis to deliver a baby, it's a different walk. It's a different whole configuration of the below the torso. Actually, the skeletal structure of men and women is very different. There's a Truth Never Sleeps YouTube channel that covers that very well, showing people that have transitioned and then those that wanted to detransition in the transgendering and transpocalypse of humanity. I cover all of it, including the technological enslavement of transhumanism. It's not just about people seeing again or walking again or having more cognitive function. That's the window dressing. That's the sizzle that people are buying. The real stake is the enslavement of humanity and the manipulation and control of humanity. Once again, where's the drain in the parking lot? Well, right down there in the middle of the view, the low spot. That's how it works. That's the reality of it. Over and over again. That's how it is. At home, I've got my house filled up with a lot of plants, hanging golden pothos and more. I'm using at least 10 gallons of water a week on my plants. I water plants every day, not the same ones. I move it around. They're taking light, sunlight, and grow lights. I've got grow lights in my house. LED. I know that not everybody is a fan of LED lighting. They're working good for me right now. Now the lighting is very different. The sun would have appeared right over there from this vantage point. It's shooting over the top of us, and lighting up the clouds. It's just how it works. We can see this a lot better now. People can come on up and take a picture if they want, or at a stoplight. That's why I do it. It isn't to say, hey, look at me, look at me. It's seek the truth with all your heart because it matters for eternity. A lot of people have beliefs that are based on false information because science, like Rupert Sheldrake says in his band TED Talk, starting out, he says, this is him kind of highlighting how some of the perspectives people have. I don't believe in God, I believe in science. Well, okay, when everything seems to be going pretty well for you and maybe you're not suicidal or homicidal, that may work just fine for a while. However, when real difficulty occurs, people are in a war zone or starving to death, or it looks like the end of their life is imminent, they get a little bit more sincere and a little bit more, how would I say, serious. They get more serious about wanting to know the truth. What will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his or her soul? So this is labeled up in such a way that people can have a reason to take a picture. It's unusual. So in our pattern recognition, much like machine learning, we can recognize when things look similar, and then when there's virtually no point of reference. It's unusual. The only place that I saw this before was in the theater of my mind, my imagination. This is not the car I had a year ago. The car I had a year ago had a failure in the ABS system, and it required about $3,000 worth of repair that I couldn't afford, and it would just shut the car down. It would go into limp mode and it wasn't functional. This one has half the mileage on it that the other one did, and it's in much better condition. So I'm grateful for that. Now, one of the other benefits of this, having a large generator in here to run the electric motors, or the electric motor to get it going, it also is not running right now, and I've got some battery stored up there, electricity in the battery, and then when I start out, the electric motor will start getting it going, and I can connect an inverter to this, a 2,000 watt inverter, pure sine wave that I have, and that will run appliances. I can run my freezers. I've got a 100-foot extension cord. I can run it anywhere I want in the house, and I can vent my exhaust gas up into the attic roof vent so it's not dropping on down in the carbon monoxide can get all the way out the house. I've got a way to vent it. And so in a grid down situation, I can get in my garage with my garage door opener because that's operating off of a battery / inverter system. Now, I priced a Blue Eddy that was $200, which has its power station, and it's got some really cool features. However, I believe it was $268, the measuring of the energy density, whereas the Deep Cycle lithium phosphate iron phosphate battery I ordered yesterday has 1280 in the energy density measurement. So 4 times the energy storage, and the battery was 219. I already had the inverter, which was a 2,000 watt inverter, which is roughly, it produces 3 times more peak output than the Bluetti would have or does. Anyway, it's just one of those realities. I went a different direction. I'm not disparaging the Bluetti. It's one of the most popular power stations, and I may eventually get one of those too. It's just for in the imminent grid down possibility. We could have a grid down situation at any time. I'm going to want to have a way to power my freezers and my other necessary electronics when I need that. Oh, how cool to see her, friend. So in all of that, I've got the preparations for this possible this grid down situation. I encourage people to look at that. I don't want to have a big loud generator that is not very efficient. I've got videos in my library that show how there's a whole car camping subculture and with using a Toyota Prius. Nikki Delventhal lived in a Prius for years. She was a cheerleader for professional sports, and then her niche was car camping and seeing the world or our country in a Prius and being able to live in that. The cool thing about this car, let's say it's in my garage with the engine generating electricity. It'll turn on to charge up my battery when I need to, and then it'll just shut off and still maintain climate control. So I can set my temperature anywhere between 65 is the lowest, I believe it is, and then I can go up higher. The problem with it, if you don't do something special like have a little ceramic heater, then what ends up happening is it'll run the engine to heat the water to warm the car. Okay, so I want to show you this. That big puddle there has a drain up front that regularly fills with sand and so it'll stop the water flow. So we're looking at probably in the neighborhood of a foot deep water or so. But the surface of it is level. See that? See how that works? We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. And when we can see when the water has ripples, whether it's from my tires or the wind or any of that. Testable, repeatable reality. So I've got different friends and family that'll say the earth isn't flat. I'm saying for the 8 years or so I've been exposing this, I typically don't say flat very much in that the overall shape of the earth. We've got texture above and below sea level. It's testable and provable to be stationary and level. You can't have level on a rotating object. So people get all upset about it. Why do they get so angry? It shakes up their world. Living in a creation that has a structure above us, the firmament, is uncomfortable for those that want to trust the science that's saying, oh, you can do what you want. You don't have to worry about an eternity going to hell. You don't have to worry about that whole heaven and hell thing. Well, I believe they're wrong. I was radically changed. So to digress back to the earlier part of my conversation or presentation talking about modifying people with pharmaceuticals, and then The Enemy in Plain Sight, Psychiatry in the Military, covering the experimentation that the military has been doing and the alphabet agencies have been doing on humanity. How big does it get? Well, you can go back to for a long time there's been experimentation on humanity based on the battle, or in this battle between good and evil. We have different people that are favored by some. You know, they'll have their Elon Musk or their Bill Gates or whoever they want to elevate as the people to fix the problem. Why did Elon permanently ban me from the X platform, or previously known as Twitter? Too much truth for him. I've got a video of him talking about how he wants to create a quantum supercomputer that is very curious and has an emphasis on truth. And I'm hitting the bullshit alert because he banned me. 240 characters on Twitter to tell the story I wanted to say was not enough. So for the decade I've been on there, I've copied and pasted my access to my deep learning AI research library the whole time, exposing the mass satanic mind control of humanity using technology as well as the spiritual battle that's going on as well. So people believe a lot of things. A lot of those things are not true. I'm a perfect example of that. For me, I know that I was believing lies. I know that for a fact because I found out the truth about those lies. Reality exposes the global lie and the globalists, and I went ahead and tweeted my deep learning AI research library to the power structure of the world, the financial power structure, the governmental, non-government organization, all of that. Medical, military, informational, the whole thing. The whole corrupt thing. So primary weapons in this battle that we're in would be truth and deception. Truth and lies. So in this shared simulated reality, this movie set of sorts that I'm on, this is the Horseshoe area of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can see that there. And there is our restrooms at this location and our flag displays. I'm going to show you up here a little bit more. There's a big water pipe that drains out into the ocean that has ventilation pipes connected to it on each side. I've got my stickers there and then a few other strategic spots. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll park on right on the end here, so people coming down the street will see me in the car. I'm just gonna situate this and explain something as well to you. In the summer, there will be a lot of vehicles, a lot of people. On a busy year, we'll have like over 20 million guests in the Grand Strand. I want to show you something that's happened here. We've had a lot of rain, heavy rain. It goes to the low spot, carries the cans and the debris to the low spot in the parking lot. There will be a lot of Teslas that come down the road here and drive by. It's not just a Tesla, it's a supercomputer that's going to see the Truthmobile. And I've interacted with Elon, and that's why I got banned too. I interacted with his whole family, the movie industry, the celebrities, the influencers. Sent it to all of them, and I've worked with Instagram as well. So when the cars are coming down the road there, they'll see it. Maybe the person driving the car will see it. The 8 cameras that are monitoring the drive will see it. One of the other things that I'll do, whether I'm at home or out here, okay, somebody pulled my sticker off. That's where it was. That happens. But I can see one over there that's on the signal. They might not like the truth that I'm exposing. That's another form of censorship. Murder or death is another way of silencing the censorship. There's no age restriction on that. People can take a picture of it if they want to. Got some stickers over there as well. I put them in different spots. I don't want to be obnoxious with it. Looks like a group of students. They're all in the student age there. And they'll see the car, and they may want to check out the content that I've featured. Alright, sometimes just flipping it around zooms out better. I don't know why Facebook it's an interface that's a little bit different than YouTube. Facebook is the most subscribed to social media platform in the world. It's a government operation, of course. It wasn't a ramen noodle eating college dropout of Mark Zuckerberg that got all this going. So we are presented heroes or icons that will be featured as the, how would I say, the originator, inventor, developer, all of that. We've got technology to have perpetual driving machines. This could be a perpetual driving electric car that could create enough surplus energy with a battery in it to power a house off-grid. So the seat folds down, comfortable enough for 2 adults to stretch out, ordinary sized people. I could. I'm 5'11". I could lay down in there, no problemo. So we may have a hurricane come through and knock out our infrastructure electrically. Could happen. Or there may be other events that happen. I don't know. There we go. So I didn't come out here last night. It was kind of windy and rainy, and on a busy night out here on a Friday, Saturday night, there will be thousands of people. I've been in front of the Sky Bar there where there will be a stream of Ubers and Lyft drivers dropping off groups of people. I was here a while back, and Yale University was in town. I wanted to know what group it was, because it was obvious genetically they had a look. They were the pretty people, and they acted like I was invisible. I'm not used to getting that. Normally people will notice, and it's not like my feelings were hurt or anything. It was eerie. And there were mandates on some of the Ivy League colleges for compliance with experimental medical procedures. They weren't all masked up or anything. I just heard that they needed to take injections. It was their education was contingent on it. Okay, so let's flip this around. So there's a big test going on all around us. We're continually being tested, evaluated to see what we actually do, because what we actually do indicates what we really believe. That's how that works. See how that works? A lot of people are in the hurry and wait category of driving. I like to just kind of cruise along and enjoy the ride. That's what I'll do. So each individual, all of us, have a, how would I say, we're like a science experiment, a petri dish. We've got different chemicals that we've consumed, foods that we've eaten that have vitamins, minerals, elements, salts, electrolytes, or absence of some of those that are crucial for proper homeostasis, body function, brain function. So the brain regulates the operation of our vitals, our respiratory, our cholesterol conversion, the conversion of calories to energy to operate our body, all of it. It's all connected, the whole thing. So if somebody says, well, it's not a psych med, it's for your cholesterol or to stop smoking or whatever, their target's the brain. They're targeting the brain. Control the brain and you can control the person. It's about mind control. So is there coming a time when you can't actually shop at a Walmart or go inside? You maybe have to wait for your order to be pulled. Those are freezers, by the way, Thermo Kings. Big freezers. Is that a garden center or a detention area? It could be both. Yep, in a heartbeat. Some of the Walmarts have been converted to take care of other needs in a community that the system deems priority. Have a hard time getting out of there under surveillance of armed guards, right? Well, how would you live if you couldn't go to your hometown Walmart? I get a lot of my stuff here and Sam's Club and Costco. And they get a lot of their stuff from China. What happens when China says, up yours, we're not doing it anymore. We're not sending you our stuff. You're going to have to make it yourself. What then? Think about it. So some people are talking about gold and silver, and I would say, well, that could be useful for wealth preservation. What's going to happen when you need to convert that gold into propane or food? How are you going to do that? How's that going to work? How's that working for you? It's time for a big boy conversation. Yeah, the truth about it. How are you going to do it? So if you pre-purchase, there's a big Dorito truck. Do you really need Doritos? You can probably get by without the Doritos. What do we have here? I'll show you. Why do people come on out here to sit in this little hut or this little weather protection? Do they want to sit out here when it's 80, 90, 100 degrees just because? Or because they've got to get the monkey off their back of their nicotine habit? Hey, I used to smoke cigarettes, cigars. I used to smoke weed. I used to drink alcohol. I judge harshly, myself harshly. I'm not the man I used to be. I'm way better than I used to be. So in that context of Limitless, thinking about being the best version, the movie Limitless is free now on YouTube. So for example, I want to be the best version of me, and rather than trying to please myself or others, I just want to do what God, the Almighty Creator, wants me to do. What did He create me to do? What is that? And then He rewards me for that. So if I try and hack my cognitive function, like consuming alcohol or marijuana or pharmaceuticals, then what? Am I going to have an impaired situational awareness? I would say absolutely. So like, for example, if I was driving my car and I saw the blue lights go on behind me and, oh, it's for me, would I want to start doing any of those illegal behaviors right before I have to go face to face with law enforcement? Of course not. So let's back up a little bit. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to go to a local watering hole, pay a lot of money to get my my situational awareness impaired? Why would I want to drug myself? Why would I want to take a pill or a potion, a liquid that's going to down-regulate my mood, my perspective, and my cognitive and motor functions? Why would I do any of that? I wouldn't. Let's see, I don't know that I've got a running total of how long I've been going. I don't know. I think I should have looked at the clock. I think I'm getting close to an hour. So I want to keep this down short enough that I can put it on TikTok as well. So one of the big things is, where will we spend forever and why? I believe the Almighty determines that, did determine that. The doctrine of election, or predestination, as it's also known, to be predetermined. Who predetermined it? If there was only one verse on it, one would be enough. In the Gospel of John, God's Word says they were born of the Spirit, not the decision of man. And you can do a word study on predestination and words that refer to it, such as elect, predetermined, predestination, all of that. You can make it a thing if you want. Also, people argue on who the Antichrist is, what the mark of the beast is, and where we are. Were we going to have a pre, mid, or post-tribulation rapture? I believe it's all behind us. Already happened. I'm not a preterist. I'm not a Calvinist. I just believe that the Bible indicates God determines who His children are, and He determines where and when we would live, and when we would actually be born again. So we've got a whole bunch of archaeological and historical distortion, mystery with history, deception with history. Why to hide all that? Did horse and buggy jockeys build the marble cathedrals and pyramids and all that? No. In fact, there's a lot of mystery with that. I believe the Almighty and the family of the elect, those that are born of His Spirit, created or were instrumental in creating the previous advanced civilization. We're not saved by Antiquitech. We're not saved by that knowledge. We're saved by the grace of God. The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction did a video that was supposed to deal handily with the issue of us being in the, perhaps being in the little season. I was disappointed with his assessment on it, so I didn't add it to my library. You can look at it. He's still one of my featured channels. I love a lot of the work that he's done. So if you want to see who I appreciate, good luck with that. You can see him in my library. Keep in mind that I'm exposing the truth tellers and the deceivers in my library, which crosses over the multiple platforms. I don't know why it cut out on me. It just did. I was looking for my lanyard. The reason why that's kind of an important thing, I can wear it whether I'm walking around. Anyway, it went missing. Okay, maybe you've seen it. I wear it around my neck. It's a lanyard that has the information, my name and phone number, and YouTube truth. So anyway, there's that. Feel free to reach out anytime you like. I don't get into long debates on Facebook. I may, if somebody makes a comment I do or don't agree with, I may just put the link to my channel there. And that will go to other platforms as well. It's not, my research library is not limited to a YouTube playlist. It's across the multiple platforms. And also, there will come a day, very likely, when I won't be able to update my information anymore. I may be unable. I may be disconnected from it. I may be deleted. My accounts may be deleted. I may be dead to this world. I actually died a while back in 2014, as best I can tell, when I was actually born of the Spirit. The old me died. This is a new and improved. And it's not just that because of right lifestyle and dietary choices or healthy ones that I've got all this tremendous brain power. It's because the Almighty lives in and through me and all of His children, and for us to agree with Him and obey Him, we have benefits. We have health benefits of those lifestyle and dietary choices. So there you go. The truth is not popular. It's not based on popular opinion. It's simply the actual testable reality. And so there is a lot of mystery with this, with history and the world that we live in. So in trying to determine, is that a shill or controlled opposition, I've got Alex Jones in my library. I've got Bill Gates and Joe Biden in my library. And I've got people that I hold in high regard in my library as well. So the primary focus that I encourage people to pursue is the truth about what really matters. So this is Robert Forsch with the truth about everything that I've found out so far. Feel free to reach out anytime you like. Thank you so much.